Ladies and gentlemen, we'll give it a few more minutes before we get started here. Okay, Mrs. Kitchen, look like we have everybody in.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining. I'd just like to remind everybody if you could kindly put your phones or your devices on mute. Then this way we don't have any background noise.
Yeah, okay.
So we will have, can I have everybody put their phone or their device on mute, please? So what we'll be doing this evening is just covering the state of the Hanover Area School District and what our programming is going to be over the course of summer to mitigate the learning loss, and talk about some upcoming course selections that we have offered as a district. And as usual, and naturally have a question and answer session at the end for parents. But the very first thing is I just want to go over the demographics of the district. I want to let you know that we did officially take back over Linwood Elementary School. We are no longer sharing that with any partners. That is going to be our building for the 21-21 school year and thereafter. So we do have 5 schools now within our building, 100% ours. We have 14 administrators, 142 teachers, 19 custodial workers, secretaries, so on and so forth. We have 2,089 students. We have a budget of $34.5 million. We are encompassed of a total of 30 square miles, and our graduation rate currently is at 87% and growing. Next slide. The current educational format of our district is in the hybrid fashion of both the blue and the white schedules. We have approximately 20% of the student body participating on the in-person instructional model. Parents naturally determine the outcome of the format of your children, and the options that we currently serve to this community are remote only, which is a live stream of our classrooms into your households. A hybrid is naturally the in-person and remote combination. And then cyber is a full remote setting utilized by a private vendor of some sort to the cost of the school district. My main focus this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the effects of the COVID-19 virus on education as we knew it, and the detrimental effect that it has taken on the growth and of the academics within our district. So the very first thing is I want to recognize over 365 days of inconsistent educational delivery within the district. Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is facing this in most of the nation as well. But the effects that this virus has had is not only are our students learning more on top of what they've learned from last year, but they were trying to also figure out and navigate the technology piece, and also learning in a different environment. If some people were home, they didn't readily have the teacher available for a resource. Then we also faced at the beginning of this school year all the way until the end of November, which was a lack of equity. We had some students who did not even have internet access, technology, so on and so forth. Some people were actually facing the virus itself in the form of the illness within the household or themselves. Those issues created some financial hardships, lack of resources, childcare was intermittent, parental concerns, time management, and many other individual obstacles that we may not even know as educators what took place in your household. So we consistently hear about learning loss. I want to just discuss with you as to what it generally terms as. The loss refers to any specific or general loss of knowledge or skills, and the reversal of academic progress, and primarily due to extended gaps or disconnects in the student's education. Academic performance data exhibits downward trends across the Commonwealth, our district, and the nation. They're all moving in a downward direction. A variety of reasons contribute to this, which we just spoke of in the previous slide, which could have been a variety of things such as inequities and barriers, learning in the format in a remote setting, and so on and so forth. But ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, this is not confined to our district. This is a trend that we are seeing nationwide. As a result, my purpose this evening to bring all of us together on this community night is to discuss what the district is going to do as a result of this learning loss. So we, as an administration and a fraction of our teaching population, have gotten together and analyzed the severity of learning loss. We selected precise performance data to accurately and intentionally select the remedial groupings for each student. We selected and developed programs to best serve students on an individualized need. And we're going to do this in the form of summer camps or programming. We're trying to create a very close balance of not burning the students out over summer, having a fun feel to it in the form of a camp, but yet there's still a learning twist to it, and make sure that we don't, on top of the learning loss, get that summer slide that people talk about. The summer slide is referred to as the loss over summer of not engaging in academic activities. So we're going to combine some fun activities, some learning activities, and we are going to do this from the first week of July until the second week of August. And then we're just going to continue to evaluate, and make sure that the slide or the learning loss is held to a minimum. The strategies that we're taking to do to group students with the learning loss is we are currently determining, based on performance data, the severity of the loss. And we broke the students down into 4 separate categories. Students that are performing below the basic average that they were in the past. We are also categorizing students at what we dub as an at-risk level. We also have students that are performing on level. And then we naturally have some students that are performing at an advanced level. And something we have learned about this pandemic is that some students really thrive in this remote environment. And this is a format that we have learned to become a strength of certain population of our student body. So we're going to capitalize on that as well. So we're going to take a strategic approach. We're going to seek and utilize learning preferences to maximize our effort. What I mean by that is those kids that are thriving in the technological piece, we're going to utilize technology to make sure that they continue to progress forward. Students who are hands-on type of learners, we're going to provide camps in the in-person fashion that they could build things, learn things, read the directions of how to build things. And we're just going to continue to use their preferences of how to learn to build on the strengths and or remediate the losses. So this is going to be in a format of a 6-week summer program with, as I mentioned, a very, very targeted approach. Every student in the district is eligible and do fit into one form of criteria or another. The offerings will be advertised and communicated with this community here in this format. Will be in the form of social media, through Google Classrooms, and also on our district website. We are taking student assessments through their performance data tracking. We're going to meet students at their academic level. We're going to allow them to succeed and continue to build upon that. This will allow confidence to be built. They're going to build on skills and then take a little bit of pride in their work. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also trying to target what we all have been hearing about, which is the social and emotional piece that has been and become a primary target for educational institutions and parents. We're trying to incorporate into these camps strategic approaches to overcoming personal barriers and that may be impeding learning, and also it's going to tie in a socialization piece and allow people to become stronger back in the social setting because of being in isolation for so long. All of these things mentioned are going to take a financial commitment, and I'm going to share exactly what that means. These come in the form of federal stimulus dollars. So all these summer programmings, I don't want you to think are going to be on the backs of all of you on here as taxpayers. There were federal funds in the form of stimulus packages that came to every school district in the Commonwealth and across the nation for that matter, to offset some of this learning loss in the summer slide that we spoke of. And it's not going to impact your tax dollars. So we have received 3 separate forms of funding, and it came in the form first back in November in the form of CARES money. And then we also have ESSERS 2 and ESSERS 3 funds. So what that is that it's the Corona Response and Relief Supplemental Appropriations Act. And that was a $53.4 billion effort on the federal government to supplement elementary and secondary school emergency relief funds. So what they did was they took our federal funding formula that comes out of Washington, D.C., and they mirror that to our districts, and that is that third bullet point there. We receive our Title I formula. And then the final piece to this is that the American Recoveries Act was ESSERS 3 funds. So the next slide is going to show you the positive impact that such a negative experience has caused for this district, but yet it's trying to help out financially for the federal government. So Hanover Area School District Relief, back in November, we got $552,000, the form of CARES Act funding. ESSERS 2 funds is on the way, that's $3.35 million. And then the American Recoveries Act is going to send almost $7.5 million in our direction, totaling $11.3 million to help our students recover. So the next piece is the funding allocations. So the summer programming, it will help offset the cost of transporting our kids in the summer, because that's not something that's normally budgeted. It's also going to allow us to pay staff to come in during the summer, which also is not budgeted. All these summer programs are going to require extra cleaning of the classrooms. We also purchased a computer for every student within the district. So you see the technology bullet. We are also developing our own cyber school. This is going to bring some of the students back. We are going to have a very competitive and robust cyber program come the fall. And then this would alleviate some of the burden of you taxpayers having to pay a vendor to have our students in the cyber world, because we're going to be very competitive with those outside vendors. We are also expanding some of the course offerings for our students currently. And then we are also building upon summer programs by creating college and career prep programs. And we are also building upon safety and security with these $11 million funds. So an example of what I spoke of earlier, which was the summer offerings. We don't want the kids to come back in and sit in a classroom, be bogged down. They have already gone through a pretty miserable year at this point. Our teachers have gone through a miserable year, administrators, so on and so forth. So what I want to do is show you some of the summer offerings that we are partnered with the IU18 and go through and show you some of the learning experiences that we're going to help our students. So Mrs. Kitchen, if you could just click on that link. The approved courses or approved proposals. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, see, so the adventures within STEM, a trip around the world, a bakery class, which is going to be a measurement class. So they're going to have to balance measurement and fractions. And you see some of the neat things that are going to be offered that are all hands-on. They're out of the box thinking, out of the box learning. And it is a partnership with the 3 local universities. So Wilkes, Kings, and Luzerne County Community College. And we are all going to be able to transport our kids to these very, very neat and robust programs, allowing us to give a tremendous experience and get a break from that classroom and sitting down, having to focus on a screen for a while, but yet prevent any type of further learning loss or summer slide. We go back out, Mrs. Kitchen. So next year, when the school year starts in the 21-22 school year, I'm very proud to say that at the elementary level, our kids beginning as early as kindergarten are going to be exposed to Spanish speaking, Spanish words, Spanish numbers. We are also bringing down music to the elementary level. We also are going to have a form of the arts, which is a visual art, exposed to our elementary kids. And physical education is coming back at the elementary level by a physical educator. So at the secondary level, we have added a foreign language. We have created a gaming course, which is a technology tie-in. And we are also having college prep courses in the cyber format. One thing that came out of this pandemic is we have learned that we can expand our course offerings and make our students a bit more marketable to go to college and universities that require something maybe as specific as Latin prior to their acceptance into their college. So that gives us the opportunity to expand our horizons and course offerings. The next thing is that we're getting very, very specific in our math offering. So our students are coming back from career and technology, and they might be in carpentry, or they may be in plumbing or welding, and they're coming back and they're going to learn a particular math that has specifically to do with their trade. So whether it's measurements, fractions, angles, whatever it might be, it's going to be tailor-made to what their career is set out to be. So it will make them a little bit more personal, driven, motivated, and engaged at a higher level. And then, as I mentioned before, our cyber offering is going to expand into a very comprehensive program, and it's going to utilize our staff and our curriculum, so that this way, the students, if they feel the cyber world is not for them, they could come right back into our district, hit the ground running without missing a beat. Another additive to next year's school day, which is something that we had started right now, is you may hear students come home and mention a win period. Win period is actually a 40-minute period of time. If we could just go back, Mrs. Kitchen. A 40-minute window of time that is set aside just for remediation, enrichment, recruitment, or acceleration. This is an acronym for what I need. Okay, so this can be specific. It can be to build on a strength. It can be to offset a weakness, but it is an acronym with a nice positive twist to it. You hear the word win, you're thinking good thoughts. But each student will be provided with a daily opportunity to seek assistance, revisit an area of concern, or simply build upon basic skills. Teachers in administration will utilize performance data to determine the student's need. We will consistently analyze students' specific goals and determine what is next for them. But we also are going to have students that are going to have multiple needs. And then we'll put those students on a rotating basis to make sure that there's no areas that are going to be lacking. And then the final bullet point is this period is also going to be utilized for teachers to set up an activities period. So if there's an engineering club, a STEM club, any type of laboratory that a teacher wants to set up and a student doesn't have any deficiencies or areas of concern, we can utilize this 40-minute period to build upon those academic activity periods. Next thing is we do have some great offerings to our students. We have been working with Mr. Piank at the high school. We are expanding our students' network and marketability when they leave our school to leave with certifications that could set them out into the workforce at a very marketable rate. So we are working on an OSHA certification that students can leave our mechanical education program, walk out of our school district next year with their diploma and a certification that they are safety trained, that could walk in any job a little above entry level because they have these certifications that we have focused on. We have also created a very, very neat program, and it's the first of its kind, and it is a dual enrollment program for a trade school. So currently we have a dual enrollment program that allows students to go to college for a portion, a fraction of their day, earn college credits, then return back to high school and meet their high school and district requirements. For us, we have turned that over and expanded that world to students who want to be in the trades. So we are now allowing students to leave the school for a fraction of their day, go to a trade school, and then leave our school district at the culmination of their academic career and transition right into a local trade union apprentice program. So we have started our pre-apprenticeship program. This is a partnership with the Intermediate Unit 18 of Luzerne County Community College and the Hanover Area School District for a program, a first of its kind. So I'm very proud to say that our students will be going into an apprentice program, into a trade union that has sustainable wages, medical benefits, and an excellent retirement career. And we are participating in building that for them. Then the final bullet point there is basic skills that we are creating skill certifications for businesses within the Hanover Industrial Park that are requiring. We're trying to see the requirements that they need for entry-level positions, and we're trying to provide industry certifications. That is still in process. I do not have a full scope of that program, but that is our current goal. We are currently trying to make connections with the Better Business Bureau over there and the Chamber of Commerce to find out what are the marketability skills that they are looking for in the industrial park. So students leave our high school and transition right into a career over within our neighboring business partners. And the final thing that I'm going to touch upon, the last several things, is I'm also letting you know that right now we are currently engaging in our PSSA program. This is for students that are testing in person. I was going back and forth with some folks on email, sending out remind texts, letting folks know that only students participating in the in-person instruction portion are the ones that are participating in these high stakes examinations. The way to opt out was needed to be done before then. We shared that on our website. And then we also want to let folks know that we are available at any time down here. If you see PDE's requirements for test administration and our time for the academic performance is the reason, or they're gauging the academic performance of students through this testing period. You might ask, why are they even doing such a test at this particular time? And the U.S. Department of Education and the Pennsylvania Department of Education are trying to work with us to try to get an assessment of just how far behind students are. That's the reason. That last bullet point that you see, or the asterisk there, that the rationale for the test administration was to see what type of catastrophic effect this pandemic has had on our students' learning progress in the Commonwealth. So if anybody was scratching their head at this point, I just wanted to share with this community that that is the rationale, is to see, did anybody lose anything? Did they lose? How much did they lose? So on and so forth. So that is the rationale behind this. The preparations for next year, I just want to let you know that we are building on that cyber school. We have opened up our registration link for kindergarten registration. If you see under the Hanover Area School District, underneath the registration tab, and we are fully prepared to open for in-person instruction come the fall. We naturally are going to have to follow the CDC and Department of Health guidelines at that point. Our intentions are to be fully open. We just hope that everything continues to move in a very, very healthy direction for our community. And we will naturally keep you all communicated with and informed about what the plans are in the fall. We're just trying to wrap up this year. We had a meeting last night, if anybody's on here, for senior and graduating parents. That was an excellent meeting. We're still moving forward with an in-person graduation come June 8th. But I would like to take the next while to answer any questions, concerns, if you need elaboration on some of the things that I shared. I know I threw a lot at you, but hopefully this is some optimism for a miserable year of all the good things we have on the horizon. Ms. Kitchen, if you could tell me if anybody does push the icon to speak, I would appreciate it. And then we'll take question and answers at this point.
Does anyone have any questions?
Ladies and gentlemen, just for anyone that didn't make it, or if anyone asks you, naturally, as usual, all of our community nights are uploaded to the Hanover Area School District YouTube page. And if you missed anything, you want to go back, this will be uploaded immediately following this presentation. But if no one has, oh, we do have a question. I have a hand raised.
Yes, Mr. Matthews?
Hey, Mr. Barrett.
Quick
question, and maybe I missed it, but is this summer, the summer coursework going to be required for anyone?
There's no requirement whatsoever. This is for eligible students. Everybody's eligible for something. And this is an offering. I know that a lot of folks were very concerned with the learning loss and the summer slide. So we as a district wanted to provide a little something for everyone. So there's zero requirement. If you want to check out and be done with the Hanover Area School District for 12 weeks, I get it. but we also want to be there for our families and make sure that we do everything we can. Great question.
And one other piece to that, this is in person, correct?
Yes, these are in person unless, if, as I mentioned before, if somebody had a real strength in the technology piece where they wanted to participate from home, they can do that. As a matter of fact, the National Guard is offering a program that they are looking for some people who are very strong in technology. So they're going to offer that in a remote setting. So that's going to be one of the offerances. So that could be done from anywhere. So there's a little something for everyone.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Great question.
We have a question from Jason.
Hi, Jason.
This is more of a follow-up with Luke's question. Now, should we decide to do these summer courses, is transportation being provided, or
Yes,
we as
sir.
parents don't have to do it?
Yes, sir. So transportation will be provided. Whatever camp that you choose, we will have specific routes, bus stops, so on and so forth for your transportation. As I mentioned before, that money is for transporting students to the camp of their choosing. And this is all offered to you as a result of all these stimulus dollars.
Okay, thank you. I'm actually looking forward to this. They need it.
You're right, Jason. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
Okay, folks, what we'll do is at this point, as the final courses become approved, we will send them out by grade level that are all grade age and grade appropriate. And then you'll begin to see them start to come out the last week of May. And then the dates we will, as we get closer, will be July 6th to August 13th will be the summer camps. So if that helps you plan vacations and plan around any camps, now naturally they could miss if you choose to miss a week. It's not mandatory that they come, as you know, but if you want to work any vacations around that July 6th to August 13th. If nothing further, ladies and gentlemen, we're always available through email, call, whatever the case might be. But I hope this is a relief to some folks about any additional learning loss of their children. So we're working at it. We'll get through this. Okay. Seeing nothing further, thanks for joining, folks. Thank you. You there, Michael Buffer? You stop recording, Mrs. Kitchen?
I'm still here.